Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Romance Nights. We are your hosts, Colleen.
And I'm Marjorie. Tonight we will be chatting about Rina Kent's newest release, Kiss the Villain. This is a dark enemies to lovers romance. It is a spin-off of the Legacy of God series. Kiss the Villain follows Gareth, Carson, and Kayden Lockwood's story. If you haven't read either Kiss the Villain or Legacy of Gods, please do not continue listening to this episode as there will be spoilers. If you plan on reading this book or any of Rina Kent's book, please read or check the author's trigger warning. So, I mean, just saying, we are going to talk about this.
I know. For the people that don't know how to follow instructions and just read all out of order. Oh gosh. Yeah. It's just a gentle suggestion that you read Legacy of Gods first.
So before we start discussing Kiss the Villain, let's talk about Legacy of Gods series. I know we talked about God of Malice at the beginning of the year, but we didn't read the whole thing. We just didn't review them. Okay. Out of all the 6 books, which one is your favorite book? Oh, come on. You're going to have to know. Like favorite book, like overall plot.
Right. It's not book 1. No offense. It's just not it for me. And I don't want to be like everybody else, and say God of Fury, but I just really like Nico's personality, and I am a sucker for By Awakening. That is just, I don't know what it is about that. So I'm going to have to say it's a toss up between, Landon and, I don't know, what's her name? Mia, and, Nico and Bran.
Okay. So story wise for me, like plot wise, it was a toss up between God of Fury, which is Nico and Bran, God of Ruin, which is Landon and Mia, and then God of War. So like the last 3, which is Eli and Ava. I like all their overall plot and love story. But if I would just like, it's a tough one. But I felt more for Brandon and Nico's like story. I think it's more emotional, and it had more in there in depth as far as their character development and their actual love story. I mean, I love the whole series. It's just as if you're like gonna, I guess, compare them. Not that you can compare them, like as the overall plotting, like with the love story, how they came together, Nico and Bran, I would say. And the fact that, like, yes, Nico is obsessive, but how he fell in, like he went all in and he was just so protective. Right. And he was so protective, like with everything that Brandon was going through. He was just like, what made me feel more for like fall in love with him was just when he said, like, even if you hate yourself, I will love you enough for both of us. Like, and because Brandon was like, had a lot of issues. Like, let's just be realistic. He was going through so much that he hid it, internalized it pretty much. And I think they just work. It's just how, the personality wise. Who's your favorite MMC in the whole series?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, because he annoyed the shit out of me, but I think Landon.
Oh, same. It's toss up between Landon, Eli, and Killian. I mean, it's like all the psychopaths for me. But Landon, I mean, let's be realistic. He's like everywhere in that series. In each book, he has
I know,
a part in it. It was just like he's so chaotic and messy, but he didn't really change himself. I mean, the only thing that he tried to change was like, hey, I need to learn how to be empathetic, like, or I need to learn emotions, which, put him step closer with his siblings. But he's kind of almost like Killian, but like he just didn't care. Killian is more like he's aware, like if I step over that line of like killing somebody or not, I'm done for.
For like Killian to me is more I and maybe it's because I just listened to the audiobook for Kiss the Villain, but very like Ben Stein. Like there's no like emotion in his speaking. It's very like
Well,
like
then he doesn't.
I know.
He emulates
It annoys me.
I
It
mean,
annoys me.
when we were reading it, he emulates emotion. He doesn't. He's just plain like he's flat. Landon is like he's just fucking chaotic, which I love. Landon, I love Landon. Eli's kind of Eli. As much as I love Nico as a secondary character from the other ones, just because I expected him to be more psychotic, but between him and Brandon, he was more like of a golden retriever. I mean, sure, he still has his psychotic tendencies here and there, but he really like, I don't know, he's just like more golden retriever for me in his own story.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Every time I heard him speak,
Who, Nico?
Yeah. Did you not think of? You have to know who this is, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I know who Jack Nicholson. I don't think so. But I haven't really watched any movies of Jack Nicholson, so
like old ones, like maybe even like when he was Joker and Batman. I'm really dating myself, but that was a long time ago. But
yeah, you can tell. Like when I was younger, I didn't like care for like the Batman and all that stuff. I mean, yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I can't hear. Yeah, no. It's yeah. I mean, I love Nico as a character. I do. He just, I don't know. He just felt more like golden retriever for me. Don't come for me, people. Okay, I just like my MMCs really psychotically unhinged. Favorite female main character. It's so hard. Wait, let's see. Who is it? Okay, so it's Glenn, Annika, Cecily, and Ava. There's. Did I miss someone? Glenn, Annika, Cecily, Mia, and Ava. Mia's.
I kind of like Cecily I like her when I get to know her in her book. Yeah, so I think Cecily.
I love Mia. I think it's just
I like her too. Yeah,
she's sassy and she gives as much as she can to Landon, considering she was not speaking the whole time. Like she was just like, oh man, like like as much as she wasn't speaking, she was very like she could articulate like what she wanted and not wanted.
Yeah. Oh my god, because he learned sign language.
I know, and that's why this is
why
I love Landon. Is because like
yeah.
I mean, oh my god, our dog is driving me crazy, but it's okay. But yeah, I mean, no, Ava. I felt like I think she's funny and messy, but mostly she was funnier or like fun to read in the other books. Not saying that I didn't like her story. It's more of
wait, did I screw that up?
What?
Who Ava. Ends up with Jeremy?
Cecily.
Oh, okay. So I was right.
Yeah. So like, Ava, wait, I think because it was a time jump with them, so they were like they're not in college anymore. So like you don't see her as like the fun times kind of thing, but she had a lot of shit going on. Ava, and I felt bad for her because she was just like, what is happening? Like she just wakes up after this coma, like, I'm married to Eli. Surprise!
That was a really good book too.
Yeah. When I don't know why people don't like Eli, and I was like, dude was like already was in love with her, or like obviously after everything, he's in love with her. The fact that he hid that she was the one who stabbed him Like she protected her, you know, and you know he gave the divorce and all that stuff, and he was like there every day. Oh, I love the fact that Jeremy was the one who was like spilling all the beans. It's like Cecily was like protecting Ava, and Jeremy's just like, oh no, he's been like reading before you like just like, and Cecily's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like you're supposed to be like, dude, and then you know, then they're together and they have 3 kids. Did you see those letters? Like the fast forward. No, they were like on that. Remember she did a yeah. So Mia is pregnant. Nico and Bran are adopting a little girl, and then Ava and Eli have triplets, 2 girls, 1 boy. I don't know. I don't think she said not right now because then everybody's gonna be old. Like Jonathan King is probably fucking dead, and we don't want that. Yeah. So the Ava and Eli has triplets, which is like remember in Ava's letter she said we're gonna have 2 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah, let's not do the Bella Matthews like it's because that's just too much to keep up with.
Wait, Bella Matthews, they're still alive.
But how many generations in are we in? 7?
Second
No,
gen.
I'm kidding.
We're only in second gen.
But isn't she going to do a third?
I mean, like the second generations are popping kids left and right too. So eventually,
I can't do
probably
it.
she's gonna
Can't do it.
Well, she has to finish all the second generation kids first, which is a
lot
lot because the whole fucking first generation. There's so many of them just in the first gen. So by the time second gen, she's finishing up second gen, and I mean and she's finishing up this new series, and then she has another second gen series that's gonna be releasing at the end of this year, I think, and then going next year. So it's the other. Yeah. So it's kind of like she does it as they get, you know, like get older. The youngest ones gets older. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go to Kiss the Villain.
We both did audiobook. Well, you did audiobooks and
ebook. Yeah.
I only did audiobook. I did purchase the book, but
how did you like the audio?
First of all, this is my first full-length audiobook from start to finish. Listen. Chapter 1 and 2, I was at my desk, my husband's on a call, and I'm just like, oh my God. I was blushing. I don't blush. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've always been like, ebook, audiobooks, but no, this was it. All the narrators were perfect.
Yeah. Well, it's the fact that it's also a full cast. So, you know, yes, this is an romance, but like it's a full cast for like the other characters. They came back, you know, to voice them. All right. So what is your book? Like what did you rate it?
I believe I gave this a 5-star, which I love to hand that shit out.
I know you just like
it doesn't take much to please me. And spice, I'd say it's 4.
Yeah. Okay. So I did 4 for the spice rating, and I did 4.5 for the book rating, and we will talk about it later. Why there was one originally I want to renege. Huh?
I want to renege.
Okay. Originally, I was gonna do the 5, and then remembered the thing that I blocked out. I was like, nope, 4.5. Yes. Like, just like I blacked that out. Like, literally blocked it out.
I take it back. I'll take it back. I will give it 4.5 as well. Because there's 2 things that.
Okay. All right, let's get into it. Thoughts on Gareth? I know he gets a lot of hate, but
I'm not giving him hate. I was surprised that he was that much of a pussy. I hate to say it. Like, he was not a strong, like, I think of him as like stoic, strong. Like, he doesn't need a lot of words. He's got his control. And it took Kayden all of 30 seconds to shatter that and then continue to shatter it. So to me, he was golden retriever.
I don't know. I think it's the dynamic between the two of them. With Kayden, he's very much like subservient. I guess that's what we would call him, especially in the bedroom. But as far as like outside of it, I think he's more of like, well, he mimics really well. Like, he masks what his inner monologue is. Like, I mean, his inner monologue is like, I just want to fucking kill this person. But nope, can't do that. Like, I have to be perfect. I would say, though, he was like, I was surprised about his narcissistic tendencies. It was like, they just, like, I am beautiful. I am the mom. I was like, wait, where did this fucking thing came from?
Yeah, it doesn't align. That doesn't align from what we did know.
Right, yeah, because he wasn't always there, but I thought he was like the golden child, considering like his relationship with Asher and, like the rift between the two brothers. But I was thoroughly surprised when he was like chapter 1. He was just like, I'm gonna, do this like stuff with this motherfucker, like drugged him, and I'm just like, what is going on? I was like, this is not Gareth, like, or this is not what we thought he would be. And I think that's why yeah, and I think that's why people are hating on him. But it's kind of like, when it's a side character, you don't really get to see their whole personality, especially their their inner monologues. Because they just like, you just see what, like whichever point of view we're reading, we're just seeing it through their eyes. But then you get to know him and you're just like, oh, okay, so there's more to him than just like he's the perfect child kind of thing. But
I would like to have seen him get a little bit of control. And I don't know, I've read a lot of male romance.
Mm-hmm.
And why can't we share a little bit? Why does one always have to be?
But I think it's more
the
of
receiver.
I think more for him is like, he's already in control about everything. Like, he has to have the perfect life, perfect, like perfect image. Everything is perfect. So when it came to like privately, like relationship, he had to be able to let go. Because I mean, even like when he was saying, oh, I like girls kind of thing. And he's always in control either on those things too. And you can like, even in his inner monologue, like, it's not like I have to like force himself to like actually enjoy it. To him, it's tedious, I think. Until Kayden.
Well, I would have liked to have seen
I know.
Just once, a little reverse Uno card.
Yeah, because like with Nico and Bran, Nico was like, "Oh, sure, you can do it," but like Bran's like,
but he didn't want to.
Yeah, Bran didn't want to, but Nico was just like, "I'm fine with it," kind of thing. And I
would
think
like to have seen that.
Yeah, I don't think they even talked about it.
No, and I think Kayden would have conceded.
Yeah, I think that Kayden would have. Like, he would have been open.
Yeah.
I just don't think they talked about it, or it didn't even come up.
Once he said, if you can get me turned around, like flipped around, then you can.
And he did try, but like
he got him, but then he was like, "Woo, got you."
Yeah. Well, then he was like, he talked a lot, and then Kayden's just like, this is like, it's like, whatever, you're talking too much, kind of thing. All right. Thoughts on Kayden?
You know what? I don't have anything bad to say about him, but I think he was a great character. I think once he got past his revenge, which we didn't even know about up front,
it's just like,
I think he was a great character. He would have done anything for Gareth. Like, I loved him through and through. His personality, the audiobook's voice.
I mean, I think reading listening it to audio and then reading it like halfway through, you can definitely tell that the narrator got the personality for it, and it shows like they studied the material and stuff like to give that good performance to where like, oh, this is Kayden, it's his personality, like you can just, and he's a great narrator, like he did an amazing job. I love his voice.
Absolutely.
Like,
which one was it again?
I forgot.
Do we know? No, yeah.
Yes,
I
we do.
loved his voice.
Let me look on my.
There was like a bunch of them, and I didn't know who was who.
Well, I found it. I just.
Oh.
Grayson Owens. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's Grayson Owens, if I remember correctly. Somebody's put it on Rina's reader group, but yeah, I loved that narrator for Kayden because he did really well. I love his character as well. I mean, he did, like I said, with that revenge plot, he pretty much, once he started falling in love with Kayden, Garrett, he like dropped that off and stuff. But
I think we have one thing that we could say, but I'm going to save it for things we didn't like.
Yes, we can. All right. So relationship wise, like, how do you feel about it?
In a book, I have no problem. But the toxicity and the codependence that Gareth has is sickening. Great in a book, it was emotional. So it's like, not only, I think you felt like every emotion in this book, good, bad. They're both very jealous and possessive, which is good because one's not going to get annoyed with the other. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
they kind of like, it's almost like they push it, like,
and they love it.
They do. Like they it's a push and pull between the two of them, and they know when to like do it too, to get a rise out of them. I mean, and you can tell too, like the age gap between the two of them. Like Kayden is more patient. He's more patient. Yes. He's more understanding because Garrett is younger. Like there's 14 years, I think. Yes, 14 years, I believe.
Yeah.
14 or 12, something like that. It is over 10 years. Because he's like in his 30s and Garrett's only 21 or 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
11, I think. I don't remember. But like Garrett is in his 30s, early 30s. And then, Kayden. And then Gareth was in his 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah, and you could tell.
And yeah, he's
you could tell the age difference, but it still worked. It wasn't like
it wasn't like too much power imbalance or anything like that. It's more of like he was very aware that's like, oh, I have to be more patient with him. I have to like rein it in, or like let him throw a fit, let him be petty, immature. But then he's able to rein it in, like, hey, now it's too much, like. And I also like that they're honest, like they were able to talk about their feelings, especially with Garrett, when how like, because he has this thing where it's like he has to have a perfect image and all that stuff, like disappoint, like him. Like somebody being disappointed in him was such an insecurity for him that when Kayden did that in class, he was falling apart. Like, like he didn't like it, but he was able to articulate it. Because like, if you've read other books where they're like both in college or in high school, them two, they're not going to articulate that. They're just going to like do other things, like to be petty. Or, but I like that they were able to talk about it. And he was like open to it, Kayden's like open to it. He wasn't like, belittling him. It's like he listened to him. He hears him and see him for who he is. And I think that's the thing. It's like Kayden was able to see past through his mask.
Yeah.
And that's why it works.
Right up front.
Right.
Yeah, right away. He knew. And I think given Gareth's personality, because I don't want to necessarily call it immaturity, it's just his
black and white
mental illness. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah. He's black and white.
He needed someone like Kayden to be able to, like you said, patience and give him the space and the chance to get out what he needs to say.
Yeah, because it's like for him, like if you look at Killian and Gareth, they both have the same personality. If Gareth didn't have that mask, they have the same personality. Killian just has his own line that he does not cross. Gareth crossed that at 15.
And his
in high school.
His obsessiveness does cause him to be emotional in not a good way, but like he, like you said, he falls apart.
Right.
Like he can't function.
Like Killian's just like, whatever, fuck this shit.
I know.
He just walks off like if he's like,
right.
Like, and then comes back to it. But like he has that, like Killian pretty much figured it out. But also I think it's because Killian was very out in the open of like who he is. Compared to Gareth, like he kept that because he saw how they treated Killian. And he didn't want that. So he, like he didn't know how to react to it. And that's why I think it's like, when he killed that, was he 15 or he was in high school when he first killed?
He was in high school when he killed the dad.
Yeah.
Girl's dad.
If you look at Gareth and Killian never stepped that line. He never crossed that line.
I know. He was jealous, I think,
right,
when they were having that conversation.
Right. And then Gareth is just like, step this. But he also was, after that, the aftermath when, granddad kind of was like, hey, you need to. But the grandfather is aware, like when he gets obsessive, he doesn't know how to react. Like when it falls apart. Yeah, that's why and I think that's part of the control part. Like for him, it's like he has to control everything. Otherwise, this is gonna fall apart. Like one misstep or like one thing that because he got obsessive with Kayden. Once he finally, like once he finally is just like, okay, this is it. He stalks him. It's just like everything. He got obsessive, and like when Kayden had that date. Whatever, Jessica. Is it the Jessica chick?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Like, he was falling apart. Like, he didn't know what to do. Like, texting.
And then Kayden's like, well, if you're not going to let me fuck you, then you can leave. I'll call Jessica. And he's like,
yeah. And then he's like, do you want to get killed? Like, like, he was ready. Like, and this is like, kind of like the beginning.
It was.
Like, Gareth is not even like feelings wasn't even there yet for Gareth. No. It's just like,
you know why? You know why, don't you? Because like for Gareth and Killian, Gareth felt like Killian's mine. He's mine. And I think that's how he felt about Kayden. Kayden's mine. Whether we love each other or whatever or not.
Is that your mine? Yeah. And
my possession.
Like he got obsessive. Like,
yeah, crazy.
Yeah. I do love Gareth's love language. Once they've kind of like, he considering Kayden is richer than him.
I know.
Gareth is just like, here you go. Here's whatever fucking sports car he bought. And then he bought him because Kayden's like, what the
fuck? A McLaren maybe.
Something like that. And then, and then he bought him another one. And then Kayden is just like, okay, like this is how he shows he cares for me. So I'm just going to accept him, even though I don't want him to be doing that. Because Gareth is just like, whatever, I can afford it.
Like, dude, he doesn't want a car.
Right, he's richer than you.
He just doesn't want one.
He's like, he's richer than you. And but because he thought that he was just like a professor, he's just like, here, I can afford it, whatever. Just willy-nilly. It's like, hey, Kayden, if you don't like them, I'll take them. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Gareth is a good stalker though. Because Kayden knew that he has a stalker right away.
I can't remember, and you'll tell me. I feel like I might have read that he wanted him to know, but I don't. Not read, but listened. I can't remember.
No, I don't think so.
No? Oh.
No, I think it was more of like Kayden didn't see it right away until like, and I think it's more of like Gareth like forgot that he's supposed to be slick, and he's just like, no, I'm just gonna be here, and I think in Gareth's mind he was being sneaky.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Kayden at first did not know until it's like at the grocery, and then after that he picked it up like he's fucking everywhere, and that's why he wasn't even like, I think he did it on purpose to where he didn't hide the pin code so he can just go there. Yeah, he kept going, and to the point where like he has his favorite shit in there. Like, here, you might as well eat while you're like snooping or whatever.
Fully stocked on the strawberries.
Right. Okay, favorite scenes. Before that one that's on our thing. Before that, other favorite scenes first.
Believe it or not, my favorite scene is their first time together. That was hot as fuck. Okay. But
I'm trying to think, when was that? Because there's like so many fucking spicy scenes.
I can't even. The first, right before they took a shower, because it was like the shower was like right after that. But oddly enough, the scene at the end when Nico and Bran come over.
Oh yeah,
that was so funny.
I love
was
that.
So funny.
Like,
I love that scene.
Yeah, I love that too. I love the when they found Mocha. Is it Mocha?
Oh.
Mocha, the cat.
Yeah.
Yes. Where Gareth was so scared of the cat, and then he ended up he ended up being like more possessive with the cat because the cat loves Gareth more than it loved Kayden. And then initiation night was just like a fucking hot mess. It's like, I'm so glad we got the very first, like we read Legacy of Gods, because in God of Malice, they actually showed that they were fucking eliminating some of the initiates. Like all of them were like, eliminating, I think like the first 5-10 minutes. And then here in Gareth's book, all you just see is like all fucking 5 of them are like having sexy time in the woods.
Everybody's fucking.
Right. Because even like when he said,
whatever.
Like, Jeremy has a girl with her. And it's funny because like he doesn't really like, get attached to anybody. And it's just like, no. And then half of them were not even invited. They're just.
Right?
Okay, Glenn got invited. Glenn got invited.
Stole Creighton's.
Nobody stole Creighton's because Creighton wasn't invited.
Somebody stole somebody.
Cecily stole. Well, she didn't steal Landon's. Landon told her to go, and because Cecily was like in love with Landon, she was just like, "Sure, I'll do this for you." And then Bran got blackmailed into it.
Yeah.
By Nico. Let's see who else. Oh, and then Julian was invited.
Ulysses.
I was like, what the fuck is Ulysses? So Julian got invited. And then Kayden's just like, I'm going to pretend I'm security. Like, what is going on?
Well, at least we know why Julian was invited.
Right. Yeah. But I was just like, what is happening in this fucking initiation night? And there's over 100 of them, I think. Because I remember the numbers were like high.
Yeah.
And only 2 passed. Like, well, who eliminated everybody besides, Glenn, Cecily, and Julian and whatever? Like, I'm just like, this is a busy initiation night. It's not even like really initiation. It's more of like sexy time in the woods.
5 took out 100.
Right.
Or whatever.
I seen like some of the theories. It's like it's all the securities that they have. They're doing like,
Oh.
no, they weren't like there because Nico punched a bunch of people because he didn't have anybody. Who had the golf club? One had a golf club. One has the baseball bat.
What did Killian have?
I think it's the golf. No. It's either the bat or the golf club. I keep between him.
Maybe
and
the golf
Jeremy.
club. I think.
Yeah. But yeah, initiation night is one big fuck fest. Just like let's just be realistic. Since you have this one and I don't, favorite quote. Like finally, somebody.
I know. Quote. I think it's because I listen to it. Like sometimes I'm reading so fast, like I'm not really hearing it with like is it inflection or however you say that.
Yeah.
So my favorite quote was when Gareth was like, "No, I'm not into you. I'm not gay," and he says, "Your hard-on testifies otherwise."
Oh yeah, like I mean,
that was my favorite.
Dude, like I said, we went in right away in chapter 1. Like we were just like, let's do this shit. It's kind of almost like reminiscent of Glynn and Kills. Like
that was right off.
Well, I mean, as long as you didn't read it with the new paperback, then that first 2 chapters weren't there. Okay. Let's do likes first. Okay, so, well, I do love the cat, right?
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love a cat?
I love when Kayden got jealous of Medusa, the car.
Oh, God, yeah. That's how fucked up they are.
It's like, am I really like getting jealous of a car? Yes, I am. Like, it's a fucking car because he called her baby. Like, what?
Yeah.
And he named like, well, because I mean, like, how Gareth was like, oh, don't worry, baby. Like, like what the fuck is going on? It's my car. Like the way he was talking to the car was so sweet. And then, when he talked to Kayden, it's just like, like fuck you or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the Reddit threads and his, Bon and Garrett's friendship. Like via the Reddit and then the actual friendship.
Oh, yes. That was I love it. I loved that because these guys have such a hard time. And it's even in the first the Royal Elite series, the men have trouble forming, I feel like, genuine friendships. Like, I shouldn't say that because they are genuine friendships, but intimate friendships. Like because they don't have feelings. So the fact to see like at least 2 of them genuinely caring, I thought was really good. Yeah.
What else did I like? I like the cameos, especially Nico and Killian's cameos. That I really like that. And then like how Rina tied it to the older generation, like how like she usually ties something to the first or the older generation, and she tied this in there too. I mean, it was a surprise like how she tied it in, but still it's like, okay, well, at least there's something to, because technically, like, really, Kayden is a new character,
yeah,
and so but
but that opens the door,
right?
And I'm assuming, right, is Cade's book.
Kane, yeah, Kane is
that's what I meant.
It's on,
so it's like
society.
You brought somebody else in, so now you can branch off that way. So yeah, that was good.
Nico's name for Fun Dick Alliance. Oh, Nico and his nicknames and everything. I feel bad because like when Nico's like, "Oh, Jeremy's the only straight guy." Like, no offense to Cecily, maybe you should try it out. Like, what? Yeah. And Jeremy's just like, "Wait, what? Like, what is going on?" But I like also like that Gareth didn't spill the beans about Vaughn. Like he knew because he knew who he was talking to about on the Reddit, but then I did
He
like
did
that,
it when he needed him.
right? Well, I like that. Vaughn kind of like he has a little bit more, um, I guess, contribution in here than other books. Because in the other books, he's just like he's the white mask guy, and then in Nico's like, oh, that's Vaughn, whatever. Like, but he's in the States, like nobody really knew. And then in here, it's more or like, oh, Vaughn is thinking about like moving here for college. So I guess we can talk about that later. But like, yeah, he's like coming in,
Yeah.
Okay, dislikes. You go. I think we have the same dislike in here, and that's the only dislike I have, I think.
I did not appreciate
the kink. We're gonna call it the kink.
I mean, for a second, like when Kayden called Gareth's butthole a pussy.
I felt
like for a second I was like, oh.
I know, I was taken aback too because like you're listening to
and then
it.
I was like, do I like that?
No, I didn't like it.
No, I don't like that.
Like when he first said it, I was just like, I got taken aback. Same thing. I think I had the same reaction that Gareth had. I was like, what the fuck? Like, no, don't call it that. Like, and then he kept saying, it's like, oh, no. It's like, I literally, when I was, listening to this audio, I was like, I blocked that shit out. Like, I blocked it out. Like, I totally forgot it until and I think that's why I originally rated it as 5 until somebody said something about the kink. And I was like, no, it's 4.5. Just like, that's why I blocked that out. I mean, that's the only thing. I think it's their kink, I get, or his kink, which is fine and dandy. You do you.
Why?
You do you, boo. But like, no, it was weird to me. Like, I'm not shaming anybody or anything that like enjoy. Yeah. It's just for me, it wasn't sexy for me. Like, it wasn't.
And I could see how it could almost be perceived. Not me, because nothing bothers me. I don't look for a problem where there is none.
Right.
But I could see maybe where someone could be like, well, why are we trying to feminize him?
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean? I
didn't
give two shits.
Yeah, I didn't think
I could see how maybe somebody would be offended by that, but it just wasn't a turn on for me.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Like, because if that's what you want, then go take yourself to a woman.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
For me, I was taken aback because it was like a surprise and I was just like, oh,
right.
Okay. Like he said it. And even like, I had the same reaction as Garrett when he first heard it. Like, you get taken aback and then, obviously they both found it hot and then they just kept saying it and I blocked it out and I was just like, okay, it is what it is, whatever. Do you, boo, man? Like, do you? Like, I respect that. Oh my gosh, that bombshell on, is it chapter 19? End of chapter 19, right? The fact that he has a wife.
I don't know.
He had a wife, yes. And I was like,
I texted you. I was like,
I was listening to it and it's like, wait, what? Like, what is happening in here? Like, what is going on?
It's like, I don't even kiss my wife like that.
And I was like, just like, surprise. And I was like, this better be not a cheating trope. And I was like,
she better be divorced.
Right, I know.
But
and then, we found out.
She's dead.
She's dead. That's the one thing. It's like when Garrett find out that he had a wife. It was heartbreaking. Like he was falling apart. Like
he lost the plot. He was done.
Yeah, he fell apart. And then when he got kidnapped and the dick brother, the brother, made him watch that. Made him watch the wedding, and I was just like, oh my god, that's fucking torture because he was already dealing with it before he got kidnapped. Like he literally self-harm because. It was like he was a mess. Like Gareth
I mean, he
fell
cut
fucking
himself.
apart. Like, yeah, that's what I said, self-harm. He cut himself, and then he met with Declan and pretty much is just like, I'm gonna die today or whatever. And then, like, they couldn't figure out why. Nothing was like they tortured him, and he was just like laughing at them when they were torturing him. And then finally, like, when he saw that, he doesn't like hearing that he had a wife, it yeah, and then he was and then he tortured him, like put a straight jacket on him, like, and like he was just banging his head. Like, that was heartbreaking when I was like reading that portion. I was just like, oh my god, somebody just fucking save him. Like, where is his family? Like, just get him out there. Like, get him out, like, so he can start healing and all that stuff. And I did like that, Kayden was prepared to walk away when Gareth was like, I just want you out. Like, I want you out. And Kayden was just like, okay, I get that. Like, I'll respect that. Like, you know, yeah. Mhm. I did like that he called, like, when all of this shit was happening, and, Kayden sacrificed himself, like, he got shot. And yeah, I do too. And then, well, yeah, but still, it's like, touch and go. And then, what was it? Gareth called Vaughn, and then the mafia got involved. And I was like, oh man, I wish we saw them. Like, I missed Rye. Like, they got involved or whatever. But it wasn't enjoyable. Like, I love that stressful part. Like, the last 30% was like, oh, we're gonna tie all of the fucking loose end. Here we go, full throttle. Like, family dynamics of the Carson family, specifically Asher's relationship with Gareth and Killian.
He's very well in tuned to his children, and I like that. And I love that he's very accepting of their behavioral, I don't want to say issues, but illness. But also, I love that in Rina's books, that when it's brought up that they are, whether they be bisexual, gay, whatever it is, I love that it portrays a family that's very accepting, instead of, like, no, you're not. You can't be. So it'll be interesting to see Vaughn's story, given it's the Russian mafia.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah,
well,
but I really liked. I like Asher.
I do too. I was like, Asher gets so much hate, but I feel
He
like
does.
yes, like they hate how they were saying like how he treated Killian. I was like, well, he didn't treat him differently. It's the fact that Killian overheard. But we also get to see it in here that Killian was like, oh, like, what should I do? Like, how should I change? But then Gareth was like, well, since you're mine, nobody can have you. He's almost like put that strain between Killian and Asher. So it's not like Asher didn't like him. Yes, he said something that he should have never said, but it's taken out of context until you actually read Asher's point of view explaining it. Like, he said other things, but Killian, because he's a child, all he heard was like, we should have never had him. And then he left. He didn't listen to the whole conversation. Versus Garrett heard the whole conversation. And also, it's like, if they read Asher and Reyna's story, they would know why. Because he was betrayed by his sister that has the same illness as them, and their dad is not really even there all the time. Like, Alexander wasn't present in Asher's like life, like, technically. Like, he's always gone and all that stuff. So he didn't have like a father figure. So he didn't really know how to kind of like almost like be a dad. And then it's probably like flashback for him when he, he sees his children. But yeah, like you said, he was in tune with Gareth, even though Gareth was like,
Yeah, I guess he figured he'd come to me
yeah,
when.
yeah. It's like what he did was like, oh, I'm not gonna do what I did to Killian. I'm gonna let Gareth come to me. But he already suspected is he wasn't just gonna push. But he says like, well, this is why I kept bringing you guys hunting.
Yeah.
Like, here we go, bonding time. Let's go hunt so you guys don't actually kill anybody.
Yeah.
Which is
And I
fun.
loved when he said, "You would be okay with me killing again?" Like,
Mhm.
obviously, the
Right.
not just any old random. And he's like, "You wouldn't turn me?" And he's like, "No, I wouldn't, and I would be okay with it, given it was someone deserving."
Right. And when he found out about, who he killed, he didn't even bat an eye,
No,
considering like Asher never killed anybody, but like he didn't bat an
he
eye
could
for.
have.
Right, could have, but like he never bat an eye, um hearing that. But he was kind of like telling his dad like, you should have told me, kind of thing, like the grandfather. um I found it funny, like the grandfather is the one that's more like, you're dating
Your father.
your father. And he's like, Garrett was like, dad is in his 40s, Kayden is in his 30s, two different decades.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, and then he's just like, but I like that. And then I like Killian and Gareth, like how they actually repaired, because like, he Killian already repaired pretty much his relationship with Asher, and like their talks, like,
Mm-hmm.
um well, even when he cut himself, when Garrett first cut himself, he went to Killian, and Killian's just like, why did you cut yourself, or whatever, like, do I have to kill somebody or something like that? Like
Oh yeah.
he was protective of his brothers, like he riles him up, but he was just like, whatever. Well, how about the reaction of Killian's reaction that Gareth was bottom? It was just like almost like the same as like when Landon figured out Brandon. But I mean,
Oh God,
it
yeah.
wasn't as bad as his reaction. And then, like Garrett's like, how do you know I'm the bottom? And Killian's like, well, you just did. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like, but like Killian was like, just RIP my ego. Like, what the fuck? Because Killian was a top. He always topped. Remember,
Yeah.
Killian is very fluid as well. He's like, he experimented. Like he's technically, he's not straight. Killian's not straight. He's just like
just
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's upset. Obviously, now his person is Glenn. But yeah, I love that dynamic, especially when Killian and Gareth were like talking to each other, and when they said it's like, I'm yours, you're mine, kind of things. Like nobody, like if somebody would hurt Killian, Gareth would be there.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
yeah. So you know how like where Glenn was the one's like, oh, Killian was so worried about you, like he even talked to Landon and whatever, and Killian's like, no, I wasn't. Like,
She's like,
like
you're lying.
like lying.
He's lying.
And Glenn was like, oh, don't believe what he says. Like he's just he totally was worried because like he even talked to Glenn, and like considering they don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that though. That Landon, even though he wasn't there, he was still mentioned. What else? Oh,
Do you know what? This is totally off the cuff here, but when I was reading one of the scenes, one of their intimate scenes, okay,
mhm.
I
There's so
wasn't
many.
quite grasping how it was working. So,
I
see,
think I know what you're talking about.
do you? How is he? So, Gareth, I believe, is on his back. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was on
And
time
he's going to Pound Town. Kayden's going to Pound Town there.
when they
How are
switched.
you? How are you then giving him a blowjob while you're fucking him? Explain that to me.
he stopped.
Oh, he pulled.
He flipped.
I didn't hear the pull out.
Oh, he like I had to reread it. Like it.
Oh.
He flipped him around. He flipped him around, or like he flipped around. It became like kind of like 69. I think that from what I get.
Oh, I didn't
flip.
I didn't hear
It
that.
was
I was like,
fast.
wait, what?
Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I was reading that.
Wait a minute. So then he blew him
I think
with,
so.
with shitty dick?
I don't know. We're pretending it's clean. Like, okay, so no, because what I did was like I didn't hear it. All of a sudden, I just said like I'm choking, and I was like, wait, what? So I actually
What?
right, like so what I did was like went to my Kindle and actually read it, and it was there. That it was just like it was very fast. It was like acrobatics over there, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way that thing elongated to go there. I believe he was like, because I think.
How did he bend down? No,
Yeah.
but how did you like? You just don't bend that way.
One of them flipped because it's like, if I remember correctly, when I was reading it, his legs went the other way because it's like that's fucking acrobatics. I don't know. I was just like,
I don't know. Okay.
Well, I mean,
that irks me.
He did it
That was
twice.
bothering me.
Gareth did it twice, where like they were doing it, and then he pulls out, and then he blows him. It happened twice, I believe, in the story, and I was just like, I was like. I think I was just like, whatever. We're gonna pretend it's all clean and fine and dandy, whatever. It's fiction. I mean, granted, I think people do that. Whatever.
Eating his own ass juice.
Shush. We're not trying to vomit over here. Remember, this gets edited. Somebody hears this shit.
What?
Whoever edits it is probably like, what is wrong with these two bitches?
Whatever, just edit it and leave ass juice in.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Kayden's past. Kayden's family was a mystery throughout.
So Kayden's family and past. I love the moms.
Mm-hmm.
The dads.
The dad and the brother. Oh my god!
I felt bad for the brother in the sense that he got the shitty end of everything. You know, killed his girl, his fiance, whatever she was. They were gonna get married. Like that's frigged up. That's some family, man.
Right, and I think that's why it like he went off the deep end. Like
yeah. Oh, who wouldn't?
I mean, like, and then the fact that he constantly kept saying like, "You're not my favorite. You're not my favorite," and then, but I'm gonna kill your girlfriend anyway. I'm like, what?
And it makes me wonder what effect that had on Kane. I guess we'll find out.
Well, I mean, Kayden hinted it that like he pretty much got the shit end of the stick. But he's all into that secret society. Like he's in it. Because remember, Kayden gave that like the secret society. He gave it up for Gareth to keep him safe, but he still kept portion of the business because Grant is unable to keep that afloat without Kayden. Which is, I feel like Grant really didn't want to kill Kayden. It's more of the society.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and that's why they could still work together. Like, even though Kayden was like ready to give it up, they still work together. And he still has a relationship with the nephew.
Right.
I think when they were younger, they could have had a relationship, but I think the dad pit them against each other, which is fucking shitty. Because when Kayden was talking about it, he was like, Grant wasn't this way, and up until his fiance got killed in front of him, and then he was just like, okay, guess like no more emotions. And then he is now. I mean, which is understandable. Like you can.
Didn't the mom kill herself?
Mom killed herself. Yeah,
fiance.
And she was the
kills the fiance.
He was the one
who
who
ass
found
handed to you.
Yeah. Well, he was the one who found the mom. I thought.
So, I mean, if it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, so at
Done.
14, you know. What do you think of the cameos? I love all the cameos, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I loved listening to it because when I'm reading it, I'm not reading it in a British accent,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
So the fact that I got to hear it with the accent it just felt authentic, you know?
Mhm.
I loved hearing Bran, all of them really. You know me because of my shit memory, but I loved that now I really could figure out who Vaughn was, because you're like, no, you'll know who White Mask is. At the end, I'm like, I have no fucking clue. Who is that?
Now you know. Oh, do you remember the scene where they were having dinner, right? Like Kayden was like doing his hardest to be accepted and all that stuff, and like, you know, he passed the potatoes or whatever, and
Yeah.
the grandfather's like, I lost my appetite.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and
yes.
then you know how it's like Glenn was sitting beside Gareth, and they were, and not Lan, Killian and Kayden were across from them because they were sitting, and Glenn puts her hand on Gareth,
She
and
almost lost
both,
that fucking hand.
right, Kill and Kayden, like literally both of them eyed it, and Gareth's mind's like, huh, this is funny. Like, this is the only thing that they would like agree on.
Yeah.
Like both of them, that's the only thing that they could agree on, because like Killian's
Yep.
like giving him a hard time or whatever.
That was funny.
I really like that epilogue where Bran and Brendan and Nico had dinner with them, specifically
Loved it.
when Nico was trying to be like all tough, like I'm gonna kill you or whatever, and Bran is like, Nico, we talk about it, and he's like, and I was like, kill who? Like I don't know who the hell Killian is.
Yeah,
And
I know, he's so funny.
And then when Garrett and Brandon were getting to know each other, and he made Brandon laugh, and Nico's like, who's making you laugh? Like, and Garrett was just like, who else? Me. And like, you know, I'm trying, and he's just like literally wedge himself in between the two of them to where like, I'm the only one who can make him laugh. What is wrong?
My lotus flower.
Right, I know. Well, who was it saying? It's like, lotus flower, that lotus flower, this. And it's like, who the fuck is lotus flower? Oh my god. You should listen to God of
I
Fury.
might.
Because that one was funny. Because, like, Nico's possessiveness. And then when, like, you know, when he would stop talking, and Brendan's like, why is he not texting me? Why is it like both of them are just like, okay, the both of you like just get it together, okay? Like, it's either you guys are gonna like communicate or not.
Yeah, I'll probably
you should totally, because I mean, you like the voice actors, so it's Shane and Teddy. So I'm loving Teddy's voice though.
Yeah, so my sister-in-law loves Teddy Hamilton. It would have been nice if we could. Well, we'll talk about it later. Never mind.
Okay, later. Overall thoughts. Like, I mean, I think I
really enjoyed it. Other than the little things,
but it's not like a deterrent to like DNF.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so I definitely agree that it was the smuttiest out of all. Like within the second generation, so it is very like it is the smuttiest. Darkest, I don't know. No. I can't really. I feel like the first gen still is the darkest. Like they did a lot like darker themes.
This was definitely not the darkest. No.
Yeah. I feel just for me, I guess I don't, because I know some people.
And Killian's story read darker,
right? Well, because I think most people only read Legacy of Gods, and as you go through Legacy of Gods, it got lighter-ish, you know. But if you've read first generation, they're like psychotic. All of them are like psychotic over there. Like they're very dark. But also it's like we both read really dark stuff, so I don't I could not even like say that it's super dark. Like there are dark elements.
To us, no.
Yeah,
If
to
you're an
us.
experienced dark romance reader, this is not going to be
Mhm.
dark for you.
This is why, like, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm DNFing it because it's too dark," it's like, well, have you read Rina Kent's books? Because for the most part, Rina Kent's books are dark. They're not do that. So if you're like, specifically if it's romance and you're like used to fluffy romance, then yeah,
No, this isn't it.
you probably wouldn't enjoy it because they went straight in chapter 1.
And you should know this. If you know Rena Kent and you like light and fluffy male romance, then your common sense should kick in and say, you know
I
what?
probably wouldn't
I
like.
feel like this isn't going to be it.
Well, yeah, and you should read the trigger warning first if you're like,
sure,
fluffy
this is the time. That's what they're there for. We
Yeah.
don't read them because
Yeah, I
we
know.
say challenge accepted.
Right, pretty much. The only thing I would really need to know if there's cheating, then that's it.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But usually they announce that anyway, and I'm just like, pass. So I don't think it's a trigger warning. It's just more like I don't like reading it.
It's just not a preferred trope of yours. And I can understand that. Like, I'm okay with it as long as the person who's getting cheated on is a piece of shit. Like the Off Balance series, his girlfriend's a dick. She's a bitch, and she's come to find out she was slutting on the side. But yeah, I'm okay with it. But like blatant cheating for like no good damn reason, no.
Ain't it?
I don't know, just took a turn there. Sorry.
All right. But yeah, like no, I think it. I mean, I do agree that it was the smuttiest because there were a ton of sex scenes in there.
Hope
like,
there's more. Hope this means we're on an uptick on smut.
Right. Darkest in our opinions, not really that dark.
No.
Okay, Beautiful Venom, because it's the one that's coming out this year in May.
Oh, the red book. Or
Is it
white
in May
or
or something like that? It's I mean, I pre-ordered it, so I don't remember. I'm excited. It's like I'm glad that we got to see who it is. The very
I
first.
can't wait.
Yeah, so and he's pretty interesting. It's funny because like Kayden was jealous of him because of the jersey that Gareth.
Oh, I know. He's like, well, it's not because of that, you fucking idiot.
It's still your last name, still a Davenport.
Right.
I did like the house that he bought and then how he proposed. Like that was sweet.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Wait, Kayden was the one who proposed, right?
Kayden, yeah.
Yeah, and Garrett was like, "What? Wait, what?" I'm like, I think he was like, "I was gonna do it" or something like that. I don't remember.
No, well, shit. What did he do at the end?
But I remember like,
the tattoo.
Yeah.
That's what it was, because he wanted to show him something. Also, I thought the same thing you did. I was like, oh my god, they were gonna engage each other, but no.
Okay. Next one, Hunt the Villain, like Vaughn and Julian. I make sense. It's like, dude, that one tiny snippet, I was just like, oh, and then like how Julian was like talking to Gareth about it, like on their Reddit chat, where they were pretending not to know who is who.
Yeah.
He had a lot of thoughts about it, but at least we know now why it's an MM because like. Everybody was happy. Like, okay, we're gonna go through the social media thing. It's like everyone was like fucking freaking out, and I was like, I don't know why. It's like it was never mentioned that he was straight. Like, I think it was in a Facebook group of Rina that she answers like, oh, he has a girlfriend and he's loyal or whatever.
Well, but that's all we knew at the time,
right? But then she did put it in this book that says like, yeah, he was very loyal until she fucking hoe it up with Julian. Like, obviously she's not that loyal if she could be seduced by Julian. So I don't understand everybody's like up in arms in it, writing essays about it. Like, there's that one chick that
I don't understand what the big deal was.
like
Am I missing something? Like,
she literally wrote,
it wasn't written in stone that there was going to be
right,
a story about Vaughn and his girlfriend.
right. She wasn't even planning on,
Right.
like, so like Gareth and Kayden wasn't supposed to have a book. Vaughn is not supposed to have a book. Because everybody in their mind thought that the girlfriend was Damien and whoever Damien's wife, daughter. First of all, we don't have a book for Damien. We don't even know if he got married to the arranged marriage that he's supposed to have. And if they had a daughter, it's all in their head. It's all assumptions.
Do you know how I see this? This is how I see this. Can you imagine an author being told how to write her book? Can you imagine someone off the street telling you how to do your job?
No, yeah, exactly. Like,
Who?
no.
I don't think you have the right to tell an author what the fuck to write, how to write it.
Exactly. I agree.
Period.
Well, then that one person that like wrote a fucking story essay that, oh, you know, it's disappointing and Rina should listen
Don't
to
read it.
Right, so hold on. Like, Rina should listen to her readers, because without her readers, she wouldn't be here. First of all, she has a big enough fandom that people will still buy it. Like, you and I will still read it, no matter what. Second of all, she put it in there. It's like, I've never read Rina's book, but if I read all of her books, Kirill and Sasha would be my favorite, and Vaughn is their child. So can you imagine a pecan kid being gay? And I was like, you've never read Kirill and Sasha? Kirill literally let everybody assume that he's fucking gay because everybody thought Sasha was, yeah. I was just like, that's why I put it on my threads. Like, you're gonna say that Kirill and Sasha is your favorite, but you've never read their story, and then you're gonna say like Vaughn is straight. It's like, well, do you know his dad? Who his dad is? Like, he was prepared to like let people assume that he's gay until Sasha was ready to reveal who.
And maybe this is opening the eyes for the rest of the world to see that not all relationships need to be heterosexual to be accepted. So, like, stop telling authors how to do their job. Right. Now, this is not including, that statement does not include the disgusting people of the world that write things that are downright despicable and disgusting.
Yeah. No,
so this is just
specific.
I don't want this getting twisted.
Right. No, so this is specifically for Vaughn and Yulian's story. Like,
right.
The whole social media,
that's balls
drama of it, and also the fact that like saying it's like, oh, he's the pecan's son. It's like, and like, it doesn't matter. Like, but I am excited to actually read this because both Vaughn and Yulian are like, I think, head of two different Russian mafia, because I think Yulian is in Chicago, so that's gonna be like a good interesting dynamic, and I'm like excited. It's gonna we're gonna have to wait for a year, which is sad. And I'm just like, I just want their books now. Oh, and also, I fucking hate people like that spoiled it, because I think that's the surprise at the end of the book, is like when you read it, is like, who's the next story? Because it wasn't meant to be a series. It was supposed to be, oh, this is just a spin-off standalone book, and now it's a series. And people who, it wasn't even the ARC ones, it was people who got it early from the pre-order, because the printing whoever did it had to print more, got the fucking thing. And you know what, you stub your whoever, like, all the people that spoil it, I hope you stub your toe.
I hope you get diarrhea.
Right? Like, or, step on fucking Legos, because those are painful. Like, no, F you guys suck. Because I was like, this is my, like, I literally, I'm not even gonna lie, I block a lot of people because I block or I filtered the hashtag Rina Kent kiss the villain and stuff, but because they were hashtagging Vaughn's name, so it kept popping up, and I was just like, block everybody. So it's just like I fucking.
You know what? That's what you got to do. You got to keep your peace. This is your social media. You should be able to see what you want to see, and not people ruining shit, bitching about shit. Like,
oh yeah, I've been like blocking people left and right because I'm just like, no offense to like people, but it's just like, ugh. It's just too much. You're doing too much for like engagement, and I can tell what it is. You're rage baiting, like, and the same thing with the spoilers. It's like it's not funny because like people already said, it's like, what is wrong with you guys? Even Rina requested, like, hey, I know you guys got it early. Please don't,
don't fuck it up for the rest of us.
Right, for the people that have been waiting for this. Do people listen? No, because they're fucking assholes. Oh, also, just because you don't like the book, don't negative bomb review it on Goodreads with negative shit because you didn't like about Vaughn and Julian.
That makes zero fucking sense.
Before it even released. So like, I looked at it because I went to the Goodreads and it was like negative reviews after negative reviews, and I was like, and it's not even about Gareth and Kayden. It's about Julian and Vaughn. It's like, what?
Again, not to bring it back to work, but could you imagine someone doing a survey on you over and over and over and over? But I mean, these are their livelihoods.
Mm-hmm.
Grow the fuck up. If you didn't like that, see me, I don't necessarily leave negative reviews. I would rather DNF it.
Yeah.
Than leave, like, just not leave a review at all.
Yeah.
Because I can, if it's, as long as it's something, it's a me thing. Like, if it's like, oh, you know what? I just didn't like that trope, or I didn't like whatever. Then if it's just written like trash, then like get back to the drawing board. Yeah. Maybe I would.
Okay. And then also, like, if you've listened to this whole thing still and you still haven't read it and you still listen to us yap about it, going into this, and if you've read God of Fury, don't go into Kiss of the Villain expecting it to be the same as God of Fury, because it's not. They're two different stories, different characters, different journey. Don't compare.
But it's hot as hell. It's
right, because I've seen reviews where they were like, oh, it's just not as good as God of Fury. It's like two different stories. Like, different characters, different journey, like love story. Like, it's just different. So don't go into it like expecting same thing as Nico and Bran's story. Because I think like I sent that video, like that one person that DNF in because it's like, oh, I loved God of Fury, and I was like, well, it's different. Like, why are we comparing them?
Not all the books should be the same, because who the hell would want to read the same book over and over?
Yeah. Well, and then somebody said like, oh, it's a cash grab, and I'm like, this is her livelihood. She needs, like, obviously, yeah, she loves her characters and all that stuff, so she's giving life to the characters. But it's still her livelihood. This is how she makes money. Like, what do you want from people, like from authors?
You know what?
Really?
TikTok should have an option to leave a review on the TikToker. Okay? And then let's see how quick you are to just spam someone's book just because you didn't like what the next book's going to be. Right. Stupid.
Yeah, kind of like where it says like, I'm not gonna like your next video because I don't like your personality. like people, right. Yeah, I think I like that. Or, you know how like it has the like button? We need a dislike button on TikTok. Because YouTube has a dislike button.
Yeah, it does.
Right. We need a dislike button.
Talk to you about that shit.
I don't know who owns TikTok. Whoever owns TikTok, please add a dislike button so we can like start doing that and then block people. But the dislike buttons needs to be anonymous. Like,
no, I'll own that shit.
Well, actually, yeah, no, never mind. Like, I'll own it. And then if like they come at me, it's like, well, you're full of shit.
Blocked.
Yeah, block. No, dislike it and then block.
Right. I love it.
Because honestly, the not interested button is not working out for me because it's like I'm still like seeing because it says, not you're not interested in this. We won't show you videos like this. Bitch, I'm still seeing them. Okay, like I just want my hot guys over
God,
there.
yeah. People do better. I mean,
You know what it is? It's like people has gone way comfortable on the internet to be spouting shit like that. Because guess what? No, guess what? If you go in person, I doubt that how you act on your videos is the same way you're gonna act in person. I mean, kudos to you if you act like that. Kudos to you, but like remember consequences. There's always consequences. Because on TikTok, social media, you can block them if you don't like what they tell you, what their reaction is to you. You can block them. Do that in person. Consequences, just saying consequences. There's consequences to everything.
Well, let's wrap this one up. All in all, loved it. And I'm glad that I listened to you. So thank you with doing the audiobook. And I look forward to more.
Pick on me with audios.
I know.
Like, I don't believe you. It's like, well, now you do.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of the episode. So thank you for listening to us ramble and rip people apart. No, I'm kidding.
We did not.
But if you like our humor and our reviews, follow us on our socials. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. And you don't miss out on any of our new episodes. If you have any authors you'd like to see or any topics you'd like us to discuss, you can send us a DM on Instagram. That's all. See you next time.
Bye.